Hi, my name's Jessica Cuellar. I'm a sociology major in class of 2023. I always knew that I wanted to go to a four-year institution. Driving by Santa Clara, I would see the campus, how beautiful it looked. It has the appearance of success. I actually applied on the day that the applications were due, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. They were able to find scholarships and other avenues that covered the cost of attendance for me. That made coming to Santa Clara a reality. I grew up in a low-income household. We were on government assistance, and there were times where my mom wasn't able to work and provide for us. So education at that point came second. I have a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old. They're both girls. My older daughter, she does have a learning disability, so she didn't really talk until she was about 7 years old. I'm learning every day how to speak up for her, and I think that that has helped me because it taught me that I am not going to get anywhere or get anything if I don't learn what as far as I'm entitled to, or if I don't ask for it. I want to become an attorney because I feel I would be able to connect more with people who feel as if they've been, unfairly treated or marginalized. Having the ability to put yourself in their position or to know kind of the different circumstances that are affecting them, I feel like you have more of a connection to them and want to help people that you see yourself in. On campus, I'm involved in undergrad research with Dr. Nichols in the sociology department, and we are studying the experiences of transfer students, seeing what can come out of the data that can hopefully help transform some of the policies around transfer students and hope to help other incoming transfer students in the future. What I'm going to miss most about Santa Clara is the relationships that I've built along the way. I've been able to build relationships with professors and have my friend group and just be able to feel like I was a part of something here, and hopefully my undergrad research will help others in the future, and that it will give me a sense of empowerment, being able to help those who are coming after me. This is my first graduation ceremony that I'd be able to go to. So I'm gonna have my children there as well. And I feel like that would open up doors for them and be a positive role model for them. What keeps me going is the end goal. And that's ultimately setting an example for my kids, having a better life, and doing good for my community.